There was a great new article from Robert Reich that came out this week, found on Alternet, where he really lays out the point about the second version of trickle-down economics happening here in the United States that most people aren't even aware is a form of trickle-down. And that is this administration and the Republican Party's constant attacks on regulations. And in his piece, Reich points out something that I've been pointing out for years. These regulations that we have in place, whether it's from OSHA, the EPA, the FDA, the SEC, those are all in place to protect American citizens and American workers. That's it. That is 100% of what these regulations are. They protect me, they protect you, they protect the average person out there just trying to go about their daily lives. And yet they tell us, the Republican Party, that we have to kill these regulations. Why? Because they're killing small businesses. That is the number one talking point that they use. People don't want to open up a business because there's regulations. Oh, and taxes. Yeah, they don't want to pay those either. That's the other form of trickle down that we've covered, quite a bit here. So they get rid of these regulations and businesses celebrate. Not the small businesses, because most of these regulations have nothing to do with them whatsoever. The businesses celebrating are businesses like Monsanto and Dow and DuPont and Pfizer and Merck and all the other companies across the board, Amazon. Why? Because the regulations that are being killed, again, were to protect us. Protect us from corrupt employers. Protect us from corporate pollution. Protect our air, our water, our soil, our bodies from any physical harm that would come from these corporations. They also protected our wallets so that we wouldn't be subjected to more financial crimes and schemes like we saw that led up to the 2007-2008 financial meltdown. They protect our wallets by forcing employers to pay us overtime if they're making us work overtime. Every single thing I just listed is also a regulation that this administration has repealed. This is not a Trump thing either. This is something that any other Republican president would have done. And to be honest, there's a lot of Democrats who would do the same thing. They seem to support this. Why? Because again, this is just another form of trickle down, just like Robert Reich points out. Because the only people who save anything when we cut regulations are corporations. They save money. They no longer have to handle their toxic waste in a certain way. They can just dump it wherever the hell they want. Other corporations don't have to go through testing processes for the products or drugs they put out. We cut those back. So now dangerous pharmaceuticals make it to the market. Other companies don't have to pay us overtime anymore. Yeah, you can work 60 hours per week, but you're not going to get that time and a half like you had been. Oh, we're also getting rid of actual just safety protections for workers who work in factories or out in fields. So that, hey, if you get mangled by a piece of machinery on the job, oops, should have kept your hands out of there. We don't want your employer to have to pay for safety gear or to make these machines a little safer so you can't stick your hand in there. That's what's happening in the United States today. 10 years ago, this was a uniquely Republican thing. It was Republicans always telling us that we had to repeal these regulations because they were strangling businesses out of existence. And today they're doing it, they're enacting it. But it is also important to remember that there's quite a few Democrats working in DC right now and plenty on the pundit circle who think that this is just A-OK because after all, they're getting that corporate money too. Not as much as the Republicans are getting, but it's starting to climb up there.